All right, what's up, you guys? So I wanted to do a video on Miguel Cotto against Sadam Ali. Okay, um, this is not going to be a video about Cotto's legacy. Excuse me. It's gonna be that's gonna be a separate video. Okay, I'll do because he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'll do a separate video on that at a different time. Okay. Now this fight. First of all, you got to give a lot of credit to Sadam Ali and Andre Rozier. Okay, they had a great game plan. This is what I mean about preparing for a fight. Okay, you didn't go in there. Sadam Ali didn't go in there just to lay down. We all expected Cotto to win this fight. Cotto is a guy that's been fighting at 154 for a while now. Obviously, but as you've seen him in the ring, he's probably not even a bigger guy. I don't even know what Sadam Ali walks around at, but Sadam Ali is a guy coming up from 140, 147, and fighting Cotto. He lost to Jesse Vargas at 147. He got stopped by Jesse Vargas. Cotto's been, from 140 to 147, 154. A guy at even 160. Cotto has never been a big fighter at 154. He didn't fight a lot of the top fighters at 154. Okay, a lot of the guys that he did fight were at 147, moving up to fight him. Then he went up to 160, did the whole thing with Daniel Gill and Sergio Martinez. A lot of people feel that Sergio Martinez wasn't, nowhere near. He's way past his prime. You saw what happened with Daniel Gill and the weight draining. He fought Canelo at 160, lost to him. Or I think that fight might have been at a catchweight. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But besides all that, as far as the strategy here, you got to give Andre Rozier a lot of credit because you heard him in between the rounds. You heard him yelling at Sadam Ali on the side, telling him what to do, telling him to stay low. It was great. You got to give him. He's definitely. I would have to go. I don't want to say it, but right now I think Andre Rozier probably the trainer of the year. But I have to really go and look and see what other fighters that's out there and stuff like that. But off the top, I would say Andre Rozier, or at least I'm bugging. Not Andre Rozier. I'm thinking of Andre Rozier should be up there, but I'm thinking of Terrence Crawford's trainer, the guy that trains him in Charlo. I think he should be trainer of the year. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. All right, so you got to give him credit because it's all the strategy. Cotto to me came in there like he was fighting Delvin Rodriguez. He wasn't boxing. He was just being a bull. He was trying to be a bully. I think we all expected Cotto to win, and Cotto went in there was fighting him like he was fighting Delvin Rodriguez. And Sadam Ali is a good boxer. He's a good boxer. I know he's lost to Jesse Vargas and everything, but he's a good boxer. He was tall in there. He fought tall. Fought very well on his back foot. Set traps all night for Cotto. Man, I mean, from the jab, timing Cotto while he was jumping in with that jab, bothered Cotto. The left hook that he kept doing, the check left hook, kept catching him with that, wobbled him with that. He wobbled him with the over right hand all night long. It was just too easy. It was too easy to me. I think it wasn't until the sixth round where I saw a major difference in Miguel Cotto. He started boxing. He started fighting going sideways instead of just coming forward, being front foot heavy. He started fighting sideways, and he started to counter Sadam a little bit, caught him with a good shot, wobbled Sadam a little bit. That's when Cotto started fighting like Cotto, all right? Won a few rounds after that. I can't remember exactly. I know it was 6, 7, and 8 where I thought Cotto was like, okay, Cotto's turning around. Cotto's starting to take charge in this fight. But the problem is, Cotto is still 37 years old. How long are you going to maintain that? Towards the last few rounds of the fight, you saw a major difference in Miguel Cotto. He was tired. He was winded, okay? Stamina issue wasn't always a major issue for Miguel Cotto, but he tends to slow down like most fighters does at the end of the fight, and he just didn't have the energy to maintain the turnaround in the fight. He couldn't do it. And Sadam Ali is still a really good boxer. He's a good boxer. He got outboxed. Cotto got outboxed, and it is what it is. He took the loss. I wasn't really mad at it. I was just watching the fight, and I was hoping at the end that they weren't going to cheat this kid, because I thought Sadam won the fight. He won the fight. He didn't dominate him or anything like that, but Cotto lost. It is what it is. And when you're making that kind of money, and you've been in so many fights, you've lost, 4, 5, 6 times, or how many times Cotto lost in his career. It's very hard to have that same, that energy, that will to want to win at the end of the fight, especially when you're at that age and you're that rich. I just didn't think he had the killer instinct to want to win the fight, because why? It's your last fight. You gave a good fight. You gave us a great career. Sadam was doing his thing. He was younger, and that's it. I don't look at the only problem I have with this fight, to be honest. Listen, I always say the same thing with these fighters, these guys that's on their way out. Whether it was Floyd, whether it was Tim Bradley, whether it was Manny Pacquiao, whether it's Miguel Cotto, all these last generation dudes, I say the same thing every time. Listen, at this stage of the game, you already won your titles, you already built your legacy. If you're going to stay in this game and keep fighting, you all know the young bulls and the young wolves want to fight you. From the Charlos and all those other guys at 154, they all wanted to fight you. They all wanted to get your shot at you because you have that big name. Now, you don't have to fight those guys. I personally didn't think he was going to beat these top fighters at 154. And that's part of the reason why he fought a guy like Hamagai and, a guy like Sadam Ali. But my whole problem is, why did he have a title at 154 by being Hamagai, another guy that's moving up from 147? You didn't fight anyone in 2 years, damn near 2 years, since you lost to Canelo at 160. You lost to him. You lost your 160 title to him. You come back a year and a half later to fight Yoshihiro Kamagai? Like, really? And that's a title shot? Like, what's up with that? We know what's up with that. The WBO title is pretty much, at welterweight, has always been, welterweight, super welterweight, or whatever, a HBO title. Whether it's Top Rank or whoever, it's an HBO title. Why is Cotto getting a title shot for that belt? Why was he getting the title shot? It's ridiculous. Same thing with Canelo when he fought Smith. Why is that a title shot? It's just it is what it is. And I feel bad because there's guys at 154 that are fighting other top 154 fighters that are just not getting the opportunity. So Cotto could do whatever he wants to do. Even if he is going to come back and fight one more time or something like that, do whatever you got to do. But just don't hold up. Don't put the titles. Don't hold the titles hostage because you're a star. And that's the only problem I had with this fight. You can fight whatever you want. If you want to fight a guy moving up from 135, if you want to fight Mikey Garcia, do whatever you want, bro. But for you to hold the title hostage, it's like, that's what bothered me. All right. So, me personally, it was Sadam Ali is title holder now. This fighters already calling him out. They're gonna be hunting for him because they see him as the weakest link, and he is. He is. Not trying to disrespect him. I'm not. He is a good fighter. But I didn't think he was a top welterweight. And I'm damn sure don't think he's a top 154 fighter. These other guys at 154 it's gonna tear him apart if he gets in the ring. If he gets in the ring with a Lara or a Hurd or a Charlo, those guys are gonna tear him apart, in my opinion. So I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna take another fight before trying to get a unification match. But guys are gonna be waiting to fight him. You know, I haven't looked at the rankings at the WBR. I will check them out, but you have to give them credit. They had a great strategy, game plan. Um, that jab, that the counters, especially the first four or five rounds, the counters, the overhand right, the check left hook. It always seemed to hit Cotto in the back of the head, right or left side of his head, and he those were wobbles every single time, and Cotto doesn't have he was slipping punches. And at the end, now, the last 3 or 4 rounds, Cotto was doing a good job showing his defense. All right. The defense on the end where he was started the second half of the fight, he was showing great defense. He was slipping shots and everything like that. But when he's on his bull mode, come forward, go to the body mode, the defense isn't there like that, and he wasn't slipping the punches those. How the way Cotto be slipping punches and stuff. It just wasn't there. He didn't have the reflexes he used to. But at the end, he was showing good defense, but he wasn't dishing nothing back. You was making the kid miss a lot, but you wasn't giving him nothing in return. He wasn't countering no more. At this point, at the very end, Cotto was basically in survival mode. But it is what it is. It really doesn't take away from anything in his career. Like I said, he's way past his prime. I personally wanted to see him fight like a Tim Bradley. I've been saying this for maybe a couple years now. I want to see Miguel Cotto fight Tim Bradley because I just think that fight had the ingredients to be a good fight, like a great fight between two vets, two future Hall of Famers, and we never got to see that. We never got to see that fight. It's personally nothing that I want to see Miguel Cotto do at this point. He fought Canelo. It was a good fight. It's funny how Sadam Ali hurt Cotto a couple times in this fight, and Canelo really never hurt Cotto that bad in that fight. I think he landed a couple shots on Cotto, but it wasn't on a level where the Sadam Ali shots that landed. That's when all right, Cotto, it's time for you to go because you don't wanna go out and retire on your back, okay? You just don't want to go out that way. How much longer are you gonna continue to keep trying, all right, and putting yourself at risk? So anyway, Sadam Ali, good performance. Andre Rozier, good training. They did a great job. But that's it. That's all I feel about these two fighters. All right. I'll do another Cotto video at another time. All right. See you on the next one. Peace.